Quite Honest Movie Reviews. This is The Snowman, which stars Michael Fassbender as a drunk and really out-of-it cop. He's got a history of outstanding work, and he's kind of just been meandering, as does the rest of the plot in the film. Things start out in a horrible opening that kind of takes place in the past to set up the story and the narrative. Terrible acting there, absolutely horrible, and that carries on throughout the film. There are some characters that have poor dubbing where the audio is off sync. The general plot is incohesive, it doesn't make sense, it's scrambled. Even Fassbender, like most scenes, he looks like he's confused as why he's even in there. It was bad, the acting all around him was horrible. Again, he was kind of, I don't know, didn't even really think he was that into it. The plot just kind of stumbled along. There were some parts where it's like, might be interesting, but no, there was no horror aspects to it. There was no tension. There was no excitement, there was no chills, there was nothing. It didn't even make any sense, there was no symbolism. The snowmen didn't make sense in anything, because there were snowmen that were kind of put in as like, oh, it's taunting you with a snowman. They were there, but they were kind of pointless. The story itself was stupid, nothing really connected, it didn't make any sense. The ending was laughably bad, to the point where it was just like, why didn't he do this? Wow, that is completely stupid. And then like the actions characters take don't make sense. Some of the deaths in the film don't make sense. Generally, what the goals and plot, it was just a mess. It's hard to describe without like going into spoilers about certain things. But it feels long. It's boring. It's hard to sit through. It was painful to watch. It wasn't shot very well. Some of the CGI that they did include was horrible. I will say some of the distant scenery shots were nice, just based on where it took place, but even that, generally, it was very bad looking, feeling, and displayed show. It was easy to figure out who was behind the snowman, and his actions didn't make sense as why he was doing anything as the snowman. It was a bad, bad film. It was the worst thing I've ever seen on a screening, and possibly the worst film I've ever watched in a theater. It was just bad all around. It wasn't entertaining. There was no even humor in it that was good. Nothing made sense in it. I also felt like I was insulted when I was watching it, as it kept like force-feeding like parts of the story to you, to the point where it's like, yeah, I know what's going on. You don't need to really clearly show it and do like a weird flashback to even put more emphasis on points. It just did not connect, and it was just horribly put together, and it wasn't an interesting story at all. The only good part in the entire film was when he takes out the back of what I think is an IKEA cabinet. He kind of just slides the back off to grab some files. There's no spoilers there. And that was the most entertaining part of the entire film. It was absolute shit, basically. I give it a 2 out of 10, and I read my full review in the description below.